Hi, this is Paul Blough. I'm here at South Georgia Outdoors, and we're here to talk today about fishing, but not the kind of fishing you would expect. I'm surrounded by fishing poles and fishing paraphernalia, but I'm actually going to be talking about computer fishing, and that's actually spelled with a PH instead of an F. And what computer phishing is when someone sends you an email that is really designed to try to get some information out of you that you shouldn't be giving to them. Now, it might be a credit card, it could be a bank account, it could be trying to trick you into loading something onto your computer. It could be some patient record information if you're involved in healthcare. So it's really anything that is not supposed to be given outside of your system, outside of your organization, that they're trying to get access to. So this is how it works. They're going to give you some bait, and that bait is going to be a type of email that seems legit. Maybe it's a message that seems to come from the IRS. Maybe it's from a bank. Maybe it seems to be some type of a bill that you weren't expecting, or a fax, or who knows what it might be, but it's going to look official, really, really official. The bait piece is the key, because what they're trying to do is trick you into clicking on a link or downloading a file, or possibly even just opening an attachment that might be already included with that email. So this is what we want you to do to make sure that this doesn't happen to you. First of all, I want you to be suspicious. I want you to assume that every email that you get is not legitimate until you can prove that it is. So just because it says it's from the IRS and they're about to shut your business down and levy your bank accounts and garnish your wages, don't assume that that's the case. In fact, the IRS isn't going to send you those kind of threats via email anyways. They're going to send you an official letter document and maybe even visit you with an agent. Just because you get a bill from somebody that says that you owe them $60,000 doesn't mean you do. And so what they're trying to do is grab that emotional trigger and scare you into responding. I want you to stay calm, I want you to be prepared, and I want you to be suspicious. Now, there's a couple things that we can specifically do to validate whether this is a legitimate email or not. The very first thing, and the most important thing, is to check that the address that it's sent from, say irs.gov, also is the same for any links that it wants you to click on. So if you'll take your mouse cursor and hover over the link that they're telling you that you need to click on right now to do something, maybe to download or to find out some more information. If you hover over that link and not click on it, that's the important part, don't click. Hover over it, and what it will tell you is your browser will pop up a little message and it'll tell you where that link actually is going to. And you're going to be surprised, a lot of times it is not going to the same place that the email seems to be coming from. What the phishers have done is they have spoofed the address. They've pretended to be somebody that they're actually not. But then when the link comes into play, it's going to be some other country or some other name altogether separate from anything else. So another example would be that sometimes we'll see people that get an electronic fax is what it says, and then they'll click here to get that information, but you can see again when you click on that it doesn't relate to, or when you hover over it, it doesn't relate to anything involved in the actual title of the name, the email address. So be suspicious, check that. Also look for things like spelling errors, word errors where the grammar is not quite right. Those are good tells as well. As you can tell, they've been doing construction here at South Georgia Outdoors. They've been growing, and as a result, they've got to expand their facilities. And that's great. We're excited for their growth. But one business that we don't want to see grow is the fishing industry. That's been growing too fast. In fact, it's the #1 threat that most people are going to face in this coming year. We want to make sure you're not a victim of that, and we want to actually make their business go into recession. In fact, I'd love to close it down altogether. And the best strategy is to advise you, to encourage you, and to educate you to be suspicious when you get emails in. Now, we can do a lot of other things to try to block some of these phishing attacks. We can put in good spam filters, and we can have all kinds of antivirus products and other security things, but the best means that we have to protect you is to educate you so that you're suspicious and you don't fall prey to these attacks.